if you're building a massive skyscraper, you don't just balance the steel beams on some random detached boulder sitting in the dirt. You have to dig down. You need immovable bedrock.
Right, because if the foundation shifts even a little, the whole structure comes down. And that architectural difference is actually at the heart of our source today. We're looking at a May 22nd devotional excerpt from Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris.
I mean, we're talking about Matthew 16.
Oh, it really is a fascinating exercise in how much weight a single ancient word can carry.
It really is. So this is that famous moment where Jesus says to Peter, "Upon this rock I will build my church." Now, if you grew up hearing this story, your mind might be slightly blown right now.
Oh, absolutely, because you've probably assumed your whole life that Peter was the rock. But the author says that's actually a massive misunderstanding.
Wait, I have to push back here, though. If the English text literally says rock, aren't we just splitting hairs? I mean, a rock is a rock. How is this not just calling Peter the foundation?
Well, because in the original Greek, it doesn't just say rock twice. There's a very, very specific distinction happening. When Jesus addresses Peter, he calls him Petrus.
Petrus. Okay, what does that mean exactly?
So Petrus translates to a detached stone or a boulder. It's solid, sure, but it's movable. But then in the very next breath, when describing the foundation of the church, he uses the word Petra.
Petra. Like the city.
Yeah, well, Petra means a massive, immovable bedrock.
Oh, I see. So it's not, "Upon this Petrus I will build my church." It's "Upon this Petra."
Precisely. He's basically saying, you are a boulder, Peter, but upon this completely different bedrock over here, I'm going to build this thing.
Wow, okay.
And the author argues that the Petra, that bedrock, is Christ himself, not Peter.
That completely changes the dynamic of the scene, honestly. But, I mean, did Jesus just invent this bedrock metaphor on the spot? Or is there a precedent for it? Because it feels so incredibly specific.
Oh, he didn't invent it at all. The author points out this is actually a direct callback to Old Testament prophetic writings, writings where Christ was already established as the rock.
Right, okay, like where?
For instance, in Isaiah 28, there's a reference to a tried stone, a precious cornerstone.
Ah, so it's setting up this whole architectural idea of a foolproof foundation.
Exactly. But then the author also brings in the book of Daniel, which features this wild vision of a giant statue getting smashed by a stone.
Okay, wait. How does smashing a giant statue connect to building a church? That seems like a leap.
I know it sounds like one, but this is where we get into the how and why of the church's survival, according to the text. In Daniel's vision, a stone is cut without human hands. It obliterates this giant statue representing earthly kingdoms.
Right, okay.
And then, and this is the crucial part, that stone grows into a great mountain that fills the entire earth.
Oh, wow. So it doesn't just sit in the rubble. It actually escalates.
Yes. And the author uses this expanding mountain to explain another famous phrase from that Matthew passage, the one that says the gates of hell cannot prevail against the church.
Ah, I know that one. So how does the mountain fit into that?
Well, think about it. If the foundation was just Peter, a static Petrus, it's highly vulnerable. But if the foundation is this Petra, an ever-expanding, indestructible mountain from Daniel's prophecy, then hell's gates aren't just trying to breach a static fortress.
They're being overwhelmed.
Exactly. They're being overwhelmed by an unstoppable growing force.
So the gates are failing because the bedrock itself is expanding and just overpowering them. That is a fascinating mechanism. I mean, the core takeaway here really shifts the blueprint of this faith.
It really does. It moves it from a vulnerable human foundation to this unstoppable divine one. And it all hinges on the monumental difference between a Petrus and a Petra.
It's wild how one word changes everything. And, it really makes you think about things beyond just ancient texts. I mean, think about modern structures for a second.
Like what? Like companies and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. A startup, a massive corporation, maybe even a government. How often do those entities fail because they were built on a Petrus? Like a charismatic but ultimately vulnerable individual founder.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Right. Instead of being built on a Petra, a core, unshakable principle or system that outlasts any single person. I think that is definitely something to ponder as you look at the foundations in your own life.
We trust you were blessed by this episode. To gain unlimited access to Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, please download the Rhapsody app using the link myapp.rhapsodyofrealities.org. God bless you.